Hello and welcome everyone to the Historical Rivalries Cup. I'm not Scouter and I'm gonna be here to do some of the casting for the games that, well, some of these have already been casted, but I figured I'd create something of a little compendium for all the ones to make sure that everyone gets featured. For those of you who don't know what this is, it's essentially a tournament where rather than drafting and playing individual civs, you play them in pairs. So, for example, Magyars and Bulgarians are the Balkan Hordes, and Berbers and Malians, I believe, the team name is called Salt and Gold. I will leave a Google document with a description in the YouTube description, if you want to check it out further, as well as the draft when available for these different matches. But without further ado, this is round 1, and let us introduce ourselves. So, in one team, we have Joules playing as the Magyars, with Jacqueline playing as Infinity as the Bulgarians here. So, these are two civs that are going to excel very much so in cavalry. Magyars already having pretty good cavalry archers, or some of the best cavalry archers in the game, and Bulgarians having pretty decent ones. The only thing Bulgarian cav archers lack is ring archer armor. Bulgarians are probably overall a little bit better on the heavy cavalry and especially way better at infantry, but Magyars actually have decent archers to back that up. So we'll see what sort of strategy they eventually go with, because this is definitely a fairly wide thing. Between the two of them, they can do pretty much everything. The weakest point might be their navy, but of course, do we have any? Okay, we have a few pawns. This is Arabia, in case you're curious. And here in the east, we have Noelle playing as the Berbers, I believe one of our preferred civilizations, as well as Ofelia playing as the Malians. Now, both of these civs also very, very good at cavalry in general. One of the very interesting things, I think, to note about this matchup in general is that Berbers and Malians are two of the top contenders for best camels in the game. And camels are interesting for a lot of reasons, but neither Magyars or Bulgarians get camels, and in particular, both Berber and Malian camels can do very well against them. That being said, the Bulgarians are very, very good infantry line. Both of these civs get halberdiers, as well as Magyars getting fully upgraded armalists. So there are definitely opportunities to get some payback if they go full camel from our African civ side over here. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. The Arabian map is, of course, fairly open. We're seeing a big open spot here in the front. But right now, nothing approaching walling has really been happening. Closest thing is probably over here. This is something I like to do. Ofelia is placing them a little bit more haphazardly. Same for Noelle. And yeah, kinda same for you could. It's very awkward to do it, but you could mill wall. Wait, that's like an English thing, isn't it? Anyway, so as you can see, no attempts at laming apart from Ofelia potentially trying to lame her ally here, which I mean it's a brave move. I don't see the payoff, but I highly support it. Excuse me, I'm trying to get a hold of the... There we go. I don't really know why Ofelia is scouting over here. Like, I don't... Yeah, Noelle's actually missing any of her boars or anything, is she? Oh, this might... Oh, Ophelia's even pinging. She's pinging like right over here. I don't know why. But I think she might have scared Noelle, because Noelle is just garrisoning and racking up a bit of idle time here. But she's sending forward a Neo sheep here. So how many? Is there 11? Okay, there she goes. She sends off 3 to the berries. You very rarely want more than 8 on sheep. And in fact, she's sending them down to 7, which is probably for the best, because else sometimes they go berserk and... I swear, did not set this up. Apparently they have gone a little bit berserk here, but wait, how many it is? Okay, Jacqueline has put 12 on sheep, which is a little bit overkill. The reason you don't want to do this in general is just because, like, one reason is the decay. When you have more animals killed, you'll decay more, because they each decay separately. And secondarily is that because you can with 1 mil, you can very rarely get more than like 6 or maybe 7 villagers on very sufficiently. So when you're overdosing this, that means that suddenly you have a lot of people who will have to go to other resources all of a sudden. You could have sent them off here, but I think Jacqueline just wants to wall up. Ofelia is scouting for the one. I don't remember what that is, I'm sorry. But she's pinging here, pointing out that yeah, Jacqueline is setting up a wall. Both Berbers and Malians are pretty good at scout rushes, but there's no reason to suspect they won't go in. Like, both of these are pretty versatile civs. Malians, in fact, being the only sim in the game to get all Castle Age techs, apart from, like, you know, Battle Elephant and Step Lancer. So they're very versatile in that regard too. Okay, so Joules did actually mill the deer. Scouting her opponent's deers. I don't think it's a little bit too late to lane, but we're seeing militia coming out from this barracks here, and oh, she's gonna do Malian shenanigans. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Malian infantry get +1 pierce armor per age, and it makes it much harder to counter them with archers. You can still definitely do it, but you need a considerably bigger mass. And she's not even grouping them, she's just sending them forward. Joules has her own bears up, and ooh, she's being chased off here. The scout's gonna survive. I don't think Joules had many. Yeah, she sent off most of her to the ostrich. It's over here. Noelle looks like she's gonna try to fuck around with Jacqueline here. Who is still working on walling up. Yeah, I mean that's a decent wall. It's a little bit unfortunate not getting the gold in. But it's okay because she has this, her big gold pile, her main gold is in the back. So, Joules is at feudal, everyone's at feudal now. We're seeing a barracks being rushed up by the berry villagers here. Looks like Jacqueline here is just gonna keep putting up walls for now and try to survive. And, well, is sending forward scouts. So, where are the other... Okay, Joules is expecting an attack from scouts, but she's gonna get an attack with men-at-arms. And oh, so Ofelia spots that there's a bunch of villagers here. If she just went now, they would get smoked by all of these villagers, these men-at-arms. But now, well, we kind of both know the other, right? Joules takes a good chunk of damage there. The barons are done, so she could retreat down now, but she needs a plan to deal with these men-at-arms, and she has two spears. That's not great. Meanwhile, I think Noelle is starting to realize that like she can't actually get into Jacqueline's base, so she's just gonna pile on to poor Joules here. And we're setting up farms, and Furious is gonna try to batter down the stable, and more men-at-arms. We're getting a blacksmith here. That's really good. Joules definitely could try to get up an archer range here, but she's kind of behind the times a bit now. But oh, Noelle's gonna lose some here. Actually, only losing 1 scout. That's not terrible. That's definitely not terrible. Ophelia's helping with her scout though. More men-at-arms are coming in. We're up to 5 here on the front. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. Very impressive job keeping up the production here. Spearmen go down, as well as 1 scout. So now Noelle can basically just run around with the scouts as much as he wants. And we're seeing supplies! Supplies from Ofelia! She's really gonna commit to this. And here come the scouts, gonna take her off gold, which is gonna make it that much harder to actually raise any sort of archer armor to counter this. And you don't... The thing is, especially with the scaled mill armor at some point probably coming in, given that she got up our blacksmith, these men-at-arms are... they're gonna have, let's see, they're gonna have 3 pierce armor, and an archer at base deals 4 pierce damage, so without fletching, yeah, it's just gonna be 1 per hit, which is really slow to actually kill. It's still bad with fletching, but at least with fletching you actually end up doubling your damage, but Joules does not react to this quite yet. I think she's a little bit worried about the scouts, but I don't think Noelle is actually committing to this. She set up a blacksmith, she set up a stable, but as far as I can see, she's just ecoing right now. She's got 1 more scout over here. That might be her starting scout, I'm not sure. But the stable goes down, so I wonder if that will actually force Joules here to reconsider a bit, because this Man-at-Arms mass is getting scary. Malian Man-at-Arms in Feudal is one of the hardest things to counter, just because you do need a solid mass. Oh, well, might take a few pot shots here, but again, the town center also needs flashing to do any serious damage here, and it just doesn't have it. We're seeing a tower come up here. Now, the problem is Men-at-Arms are pretty strong against towers, so what we're gonna need is not just a tower, but we're also gonna need them to... Oh, there goes Ofelia Scout, but I don't think she was holding on to it particularly well. We're also gonna need to see it blocked off. With walls, with houses, anything like that. Oh, but these scouts are just gonna die! Oh, poor lads! Back at home, Ophelia's just keeping up what she needs. She has supplies now. And we're just gonna hold this. She's building a forward barracks. Okay, maybe that's... maybe saying she's just holding this is a little bit of an understatement. Joules is getting a wheelbarrow now. That might be needed to help her builds run away faster, because this is starting to get very scary. And Noelle's going up the castle. She's going up the castle with Berbers. Can spam as many knights as she wants. Noelle's just... Oh, that's a lot of speed. This, I think, is kind of an overinvestment in spears. She only needed 2, really. And even then, she's playing very defensively. And, oh... I think Ofelia might have gotten a little bit cocky there. These are Malians. They're gonna... not worry about it too much, but it is still damage. It is still something you're gonna be worried about. So, okay, Ofelia, how many barracks do you need? How are you even supplying the food for this? That's amazing. I mean, you gotta admit it's kind of paying off, but hot damn. If we look over to, oh, is there no eco? Yeah, I don't think there's actually a specific eco killed stat for team games, unfortunately. Still, like, she has only lost 2 more than she has killed, but their men-at-arms are quite cheap and they even have supplies now. Jacqueline is going up to Castle Age, but she's gonna do so later than the Civ with cheaper camels, cheaper knights. Kinda do a lot of the things you do, but he's sort of better at this point. And oh, Ophelia's going in, she's going for it. And that town center is definitely getting a lot of damage in, but also taking a lot in return. And yeah, Ofelia bails. She sees that Joules has the presence of mind to just repair. Now, I do want to see Noelle's putting up a market, probably going to try to balance her eco a bit. Yeah, we can see she's a bit heavy on food, a bit low on gold, but she's sending new bills to gold. And Jacqueline is now in castle. She's got a lot of spears. A lot of spears. But she needs them to be pikes. And yeah, here's what I was a little bit worried about. This archer is kind of late. And that watchtower is not going to survive for long. Men-at-Arms, they deal with towers very well if you can actually get to them. And she's gonna have to... Joules here is gonna have to abandon her gold mine. Gonna have to send her back to the town center again. And... God, so much of her eco has either been killed or just been idle. You see that? Ofelia really made sure that she got this around there. A little bit less careful with this one. I don't think she expects to actually get it, but there it goes. And apparently this is an exodus. All of the people, villagers, an archer, a spearman, the whole shebang. And Ofelia is just keeping on producing men-at-arms. Up in the north, oh, I apologize. I think I missed it. But how about we go back at it? Yeah, so here's the problem fighting against Berber Knights. They have a lot of knights. And they can make so many so cheaply. It's definitely a good idea to upgrade into pikemen, but she's taking an uphill fight here. Against superior numbers, 1 knight can beat 1 pikeman, and when you mass them up against, you get the Lanchester square law. Basically, the more you have, the more you get fucked. Or rather, the more the enemy has, the more you get fucked. So, I just... You know how some people don't like to build forward buildings? We have, apart from houses, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings at home, and 5 forward now, including 4 barracks. I mean, she's just colonizing. This is oh, this is not the first attempt now to actually get the TC down. Oh, we're seeing the Kreppos coming up here. Jacqueline is just managing to hold off Noelle for now, but it's going to be an uphill battle, especially if Joules loses her town center here. And I think she is. I don't think she can repair this fast enough. I don't think she can kill off the men-at-arms fast enough. I think she's just kind of going to go down here. She's being chased off. And I guess we're doing another great exodus. Yeah, a market coming up. I think she needs it for the stone, right? Yeah. Yeah, she needs... She built a tower and all. Yeah, Jacqueline is gonna try to save her here, but there's so many men-at-arms. These are upgraded knights, only missing iron casting right now. Actually, and bloodlines, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, it doesn't really matter against 29 men-at-arms. And like, that number isn't going down. Oh, but this is a really nice TC spot though. But no owl cats. Berber Knights are in, we're seeing Konix come out, we're seeing these villagers trying to get to the Kreppos, trying to get to safety, but Jacqueline's attempt at saving her ally, I think, might bring her down. Maybe she can take a fight under the Kreppos, maybe she can try to get some of that extra damage in, but here come the army from Ofelia. That's a lot. I mean, like, just, again, it's not even, they're doing something back, but it's not a winning fight in the long run. A lot of damaged knights, and a lot of knights that happen to not be of your color currently. Not to be racist. Yeah, oh dear. Oh dear. She needed to block off this, she needed to stonewall or something to that effect. But now it looks like she's gonna lose a town center. To her credit, Joules is still alive and she's getting up to Castle Age. Even getting... Oh my god, does Ofelia even know? She should know, right? But yeah, 1 town center falls, more Bulgarian town centers are trying to go up here. They do cost half stone, which is helpful, especially when she's already pulled up a Kreppos. But this is a lot of stuff coming here. And even if you don't count the deaths, you have to count the idle eco, you have to count how few of Jacqueline's villagers are actually working. It's pretty much these ones here, this one woman here, and that's about it. Now, she can definitely get these approximately 29 villagers out again, but this threat isn't over! Noelle's getting up second TC, she's spent 1 TC so far. Joules is coming up to Castle Age now, so crossbows might be an option. Ofelia hasn't clicked up yet. Lord knows, she definitely could, but I feel like she might just have no interest in doing so. And the GG is called. So I think that's probably going to be Joules tapping out. I see Ofelia Noelle calling the GG here. Just seeing if... No. Jacqueline also taps out. I imagine the GG came from her shortly after there. Was that a good attempt? Just needed a little bit more teamwork and needed a better response, I think. Once you see... Look, I love Ofelia, but she's a meme. She's a lady of memes. And I think once you start seeing men-at-arms... I'm definitely speaking with hindsight here, but I feel like you should maybe expect that she's doing something funky. And for as long as... The thing is, Jacqueline can't really go into archers. Like, she can, but she's Bulgarians. Like, as soon as you hit Castle Age, that's just no longer a thing you can do, especially not against Malians, and especially not against Berber Malians. Yeah, I think they needed an archer switch from the Magyar player, from Joules quicker, needed to mass them up. Jacqueline played really well early, but unfortunately because she boxed herself in and very much just focused on it, she couldn't provide too much assistance to Joules here, and I think that ended up being a part of their downfall. that being said, this is a really nice town center, and I think we should all appreciate that. Okay. Go ahead and move on to game number 2, which will be on Joules and Jacqueline's home map. Alright, and welcome everyone to game 2 of Joules and Jacqueline versus Ofelia and Noelle cat. So, same teams as always, of course. This time we are dealing with Cumans and Slavs for Ofelia and Noelle respectively, and we're going up against the classic Britain Frank, the Joan of Arc special, the 2 classic civs that I think when I put together the civ pairs, I looked at that and I thought, everyone's gonna try to pick this. And honestly, I've seen a lot of people trying to pick this, but I have also seen, I mean, apart from a handful of bans, I have also definitely seen a lot of people just not be super interested. The thing about British Franks, right, is that neither of them are particularly varied, let's say. They both have the potential to go for infantry as a backup to their mains of archers for Britons and cavalry for Franks, respectively. But outside of that, they don't do a lot. Their monks are okay, their siege, especially for Britons, are pretty solid, but they definitely don't excel, and there are certain matchups that can definitely be difficult for them. That being said, they're definitely maybe the most popular pairing, and that's understandable. But I just couldn't think to pair them with anything else. It's just too symbolic of Age of Empires, I feel. So, you might be wondering what the hell is this map? Let me just say, first of all, I agree, it's a very strange map. It's Megarandom, so we've got huge forests here on the 4 like little plateaus at the northwest, east, and south edges. People seem to be spawning here at the bottom. They have a little bit of a clearing around here. Interestingly, both the elephants and rhinos and stuff are up here. Oh, and we're dealing with one of... So Megarandom does this a lot, where Herdevils spawn in freeze, for some reason. I don't know why. It's just the gosh darn truth. But for now, we're just seeing... Moving around, scouting out. Looks like Noelle's gonna grab her first elephant. And apart from that, that's about all the action we're getting right now. Look, someone is being damaged. In fact, 2 people are being damaged. Oh, Noelle? Good save, good save. Just gonna get that elephant, no issue whatsoever. But yeah, we also have this like long ridge in the center, which I believe this quicksand sort of looking terrain here, I don't think you can build on it. So they need to probably seize this. Do you think we could see a wall across? No, I have way too much stone. I guess there's a decent amount of stone. Yeah, actually in the respective like valleys, there's a solid amount of stone. All I'm looking at, and like, this is where I always go in my head whenever there's any elevation, but in my head I'm just like, oh, just give me Tatars on this map, this is beautiful. This is a really cool map though. I'm actually like kind of curious, like if this, because I know Megarandom pulls from, like it's not just like random. What is this? Are we? Okay, yeah. Ophelia's gonna mill the deer. I think that makes a lot of sense for Cumans in particular. Like if she wants to go for 2 TCs, oh, I hate when this happens. She can't build this mill because the zebra's in the way. But yeah, right now we're just scouting about. No one's making any aggression. No laming yet. Laming is allowed, by the way, in this tournament. But yeah, Cuman Slavs. So again, we kind of have a situation where we have 2 pretty strong cavalry civs. Now, one of the big things I say Cuman Slavs miss is archers, foot archers to be specific. Now, Cumans can get good cavalry archers going. Like the Gipjack is kind of a fantastic unit. It's not god tier, it's not Mangadai. Will Noelle's cat? Will Noelle's scout cavalry, not cat, survive? Oh! I think she'll make it. But that is one heavily damaged scout, so I don't think she's gonna be too forward with it anymore. So if she gets into one bad spot, she might very well lose it. Oh, do they start with outposts? They totally do. Oh my god, Ethiopians would be OP. Another elephant. Idling scouts, but that's okay. So we're seeing feudal coming in pretty quickly here from the Frank player here in Jacqueline. She's getting her barracks up, and it makes a lot of sense, right? You this definitely seems like a map where scouts could be quite useful. You seem to get a decent amount of food with these free pods of herdables. Seemingly only goats, I think, as far as I've seen. So it makes sense to go for that. She has all the regular food sources of elephant plus berries, or fruits in this case, because it's an African-centered map. That makes sense. Like, it's a pretty big-looking map. And you need to cross this quickly, right? Because if your enemy has like a bunch of archers up here and they're just shooting down at you, life's gonna suck long before you can even engage. Everyone's coming up to feudal age here. So it looks like we're seeing, in order, Jacqueline, then Noelle, then Joules, and finally Ofelia. It's actually very interesting that Ophelia's Cumans is coming in the latest. Well, she did invest in this mill, and it looks like, thankfully, she's going to be able to get rid of the last zebra before she's in danger from probably Jacqueline's scouts. Noelle does have a little bit of a disadvantage in that, just because she has this damaged scout. But will she lose it? Oh, Noelle! You should know by that house! You should know by that house! What are you... Oh my god! Okay, just act like you belong and, you know, no one's gonna bother you. Good lord. Oh, she pings... I have to wonder if Noelle's just pinging the town center, or if she's pinging, I can't believe I survived. I don't know, I don't think... Oh, we're seeing some harassment from Joules. Oh, I think she could have gotten that and then just chickened out with the rest of her HP. I don't... So Ofelia Scout is currently the scariest one in the game. Well, okay, that's not really true. I would say Jacqueline Scouts is probably the scariest in the game. Get a little bit more HP. But, Ofelia Scouts are important. She's putting down a second town. That's so beautiful! It's even close to these barriers, so if she needs to, she can run over and garrison. That's fantastic! Oh my god. Yeah, that's like 300 wood saved from just not having to place lumber and mining camps. Oh my god, and it's like perfect distance too. Like you can smush it up against the wood line and then have one tile gaps from the mining resources. That's beautiful. Oh my god. But yeah, Noelle's a little bit behind in the scout war, right? And oh my god, she doesn't know, does she? She doesn't know. Yeah, I know what it is. She's just barely hiding. Oh my god. Oh, Noelle! Jacqueline? Oh god. Yeah, see, I love that movement right there. Because that's the moment of like, wait, am I hallucinating? Is that like a 20 elf scout just standing out, just barely outside my range? The second TC has gone up and most of our villages are in range of this town center. The only really exposed ones is this wood line. At most, I think Jacqueline could probably harass a little bit on the farms, which is gonna... I mean, Ofelia... She might be a little bit of a doubt player, and as she has emphasized that she's, you know, she's more macro-oriented and all that. But, I mean, she's still gonna react. Still gonna take damage for every little bit of damage you try to give onto her. Noelle is coming over here. She's in the south, but she's sending her scouts up. So the question is, what is she actually seeing that makes her think that she needs to come to Ophelia's base? I guess Ofelia must have just pinged like, hey, there are scouts in my base. She has no military. She doesn't even have a barracks up. And Jacqueline's gonna run away here. She has higher elf scouts, even with that little damage. She does have a Frank bonus. And Noelle sees that hill and just says, nope, no. Okay, yeah, she's just saying, thank you. So I think that the theme of this build is pretty clear. We're gonna see Slav scouts being augmented by that farm bonus. They get fully upgradable hussars. And she's just gonna try to help out, try to save Ofelia while she booms. So the question is, can Joules is setting up a market, so she might actually be trying to get out as much food as she can. Oh, this is good. She's harassing, doesn't lose anything, and just runs away. And it's a little bit of idle time, but when it comes to humans, you're kind of on a tight schedule, right? Oh my god, these are so many scouts! That's beautiful. And games are kind of on a schedule, right? Because you have to support 2 town centers. And that's not easy, and these are 8 scouts. These are scary. She's just thinking about it right now. Like, again, she can just force a little bit of idle time to see if Ophelia's paying attention or not, and then just run away. And here we're here, Joules is harassing Noelle. Noelle's had to send her scouts, so she hasn't had time to actually build up or defend against this build-up of archer numbers, and that's dangerous. Scouts do counter archers in low numbers, but when archer numbers go higher, it becomes a lot harder to do that. Noelle's even been forced to build a watchtower. This is very cheeky from Joules. I think she's gonna lose the scout. Yes, although she almost gets that villager. But these are more exposed ones here. Yes, hello, Ori. You don't have to bite me. I'm here. I'm here, buddy. She's just attacking the house for now, just making her presence now. And I think Noelle's might have forgotten about this. I think with a little bit of help from her villagers, maybe she could have cleaned up this. But can she clean up 8 Frank scouts? The watchtower is lovely. It keeps some of your boys safe. I mean, actually, it does snipe the low one, but that's gonna be some losses, am I right? But you gotta admit, despite all of this pressure on Noelle, her team still has the lead in villagers. It's just, well, one of you has military and the other one doesn't. And here come these scouts back, but what can they do? Like, Ophelia's even put her scout in here for moral support, but oh, she's... Jacqueline, no! She runs under the town center. She's gonna lose a lot of health here. Yeah, that's a little bit much. And now they're gonna come over here. I don't think Joules is ready for this. Yeah, those scouts are looking, or those archers look like they're gonna be cleared up. Might take down a scout in return. Yes! I just wanted to know if I was gonna be a liar or not. It's not a disaster, but it is quite unfortunate. But now, we're seeing 2 stables! And Ophelia's up the castle, as is Joules. Jacqueline still hasn't clicked up yet, but she's got a very solid farm make a go, and she's using those free farm upgrades from being Franks. And gosh darn, doing some work here for sure. Bloodlines coming in from Ofelia, and this mass of Frank scouts are still just being annoying. She's got full upgrades on them too, excluding, you know, the bloodlines that Franks don't actually get. But still very good, and just more harassment here. The watchtower isn't gonna reach here. You can just push Noelle off of her gold. It's one thing to just compare. Ooh, Twitch. Or Ophelia's sending some gold to Noelle, but these are Britain crossbowmen now, and just that's... She can't access wood really right now. She still has this unbuilt lumber camp here. She might not get this market up. This is ruthless. There's not even a huge amount of military here, but it's plenty enough. You know, if Ophelia's not gonna support her, then... Oh! Down market? Down market? No, it goes up. Yeah, the down market does go up. These are... Okay, so... I think Jacqueline looked at... Oh, Noelle's actually going to go up. I guess that must be the reason. Like, they must have discussed that. Ofelia said, okay, just take this gold, buy yourself up, and just do... But what is she gonna do with Castle Age? It's not like your town center. I mean... Her watchtower's gonna get a little bit healthier, but it might go down here. Oh my god. This is not good. This is not good for them. Might even lose their precious outposts. Oh, these run. Doesn't look like they're gonna make it to safety, and I think even with Britain crossbows and Frank scouts here, I don't think you want to try to penetrate that. Jacqueline's also going up. We're seeing a third PC and step lancers! I love this team. This team is wonderful. You gotta give some credit to Ofelia here for how cold-blooded she is. Like, this being her... Oh my god, there's even a forward siege workshop here from the Britain player in Joules. I mean, okay, so Jacqueline looks at this situation, and quite rightly says, I can't do anything more here. Not because the defenses or whatever are too strong. There's just like, she has so little. You can barely do anything. These Step Lancers are gonna just pass for a little bit, but that's okay. I think they'll mop these 3 crossbows up. Joules sadly missed a few here. And yeah, a battering ram was made and then fought better off given the recent arrival of actual military from Ofelia. How gracious. Yeah, she's cold-blooded just watching her teammate die here. I mean, the gold is nice, but how much gold is required to pay for all of the death that has been wrought upon her family here? Fun fact, by the way, as far as Step Lancers go, they have less armor than a Scout Cav. They only have 1 pierce armor as a base. But I will admit, I think Jacqueline, I think Joules and Jacqueline kind of made a mistake when they said, okay, Jacqueline, go try to harass Ofelia. Even getting a castle up here into Ridge, another, okay, so she's up to 4 town centers now. There's a reason when I think of Ofelia, I also think of Doubt a lot. I mean, this is just begging for death. But Joules is up and she's already got a light cav. She's getting husbandry. But at that point she's not really gonna match these cumin. Well, the Step Lancers are a little bit slower. They're as fast as camels at 1.45 at base. Light cav is 1.5. But the knights will be slower than the Step Lancers. They'll be slower than the light cav. I mean, this is ballsy, but you know, you gotta love her for building Step Lancers. I think Step Lancers are underrated, but I do also agree that they're trash. They're just more trashed, or they're less trash than people expect. And Jacqueline here notices this castle going up. I think it's a little bit too late to stop it, but she will know it's there. And from there might be Kipchaks, and Kipchaks can be dangerous. To be fair, Frank Light Cav in Castle Age are pretty solid. They don't have bloodlines, so they're a little bit weaker overall than standard Light Cav. But not terribly so, and they don't have to pay for bloodlines. And maybe that might end up being her best response to the Kipchaks, if that's the way that Ofelia eventually wants to go. Noelle has actually gotten out some knights here. Yeah, got blacksmith up here. Getting forging, getting a few more knights out. I mean, they're not pretty, they're not impressive, but it's something, and I think something is exactly what she needs to do right now. Now, the way this plan worked out, Ofelia is definitely gonna have to carry here. I mean, she took essentially no damage, and she's up to 5 TCs. Boomer Lord! This lady is an absolute boomer lord. But Jacqueline is losing a lot of light cav here. The upgrade was good, but if she's just gonna lose them, then we have a problem again, and she's gonna run into the castle fire. Oh no! Looks like she's gonna get out with the rest just fine. But there's Step Lancers all over Jacqueline's eco now. And I don't think she can produce Knights quickly enough here to actually get a good counter in. Knights will do very well with Step Lancers. They're lower attack, a lot lower HP, and also lower armor, of course. So a Step Lancer at base will hit for 7 against a Knight, and a Knight will hit for 10. So you add that up, smoking the hit points too. And you can definitely see that in a full-on melee. Without micro, Knights win pretty hard, but they knew even in small groups like this, Step Lancers are very good at taking advantage of numerical advantages, even more so. So what is like a small power lead for Ofelia gets turned into a bigger one very quickly. But Step Lancers are very weak towards ranged, towards pierce damage, I should say, as you might be able to see there, yeah. But there is a castle up on Noelle's home front. She might actually be able to get an eco. She's finally gonna finish the ancient lumber camp that was planned by her ancestors, and we're seeing boyars. Yeah, boyars should destroy most things that the enemy have out right now. These pikemen are the sole exception, but all we need to see are Kipchaks from Ofelia, and those are dealt with. Kipchaks deal quite well with knights too. Light cavalry is a bit 50-50. Archers, they're pretty weak against, as most cav archers are, apart from like the top 3 or 4 cav archer steps. But the thing is too that Noelle, she really can't branch out whatsoever right now. Like, you don't want to branch out too much in team games, you want to focus, but like, she doesn't have that choice. She has to go cavalry right now. It's what she's invested in. She's got bloodlines, she's got one of each upgrade, and yeah, no, it's what she has to do. Oh, I think she might have seen those battering rams, but she lets them go. But these step lancers, they're so good at raiding, and Kipchaks are coming in. I mean, I do say that Kipchaks can do well against knights, but I mean, at this point they have, with 9 knights against 5 Kipchaks, the Kipchaks have to do so much running and so little hitting. Are you? Ofelia! No, girl! Okay, we're not gonna acknowledge that too much. Noelle has done the thing, where she accidentally just clicked this rather than leaving them on idle next time. But that's fine, she figures it out pretty quickly. I mean, this is disgusting. I don't want to talk about this too much. It makes me sad, but it also makes me very happy, and I support it. It honestly just mostly makes me confused. I wonder if their idea was to have Noelle wall this, but then Noelle got absolutely smoked, no offense, and they were just like, alright, well, I guess, you know, Cuban Palisade walls, they do have extra HP. Ulrika, thanks. This little army here is just rolling around, looking for victims, and they're deciding that battering rams are not sufficiently good victims. Until now, okay. They're standards lowered. Kipchaks, by the way, much like Choconoos, they actually do a lot of extra damage against rams. And oh, we're seeing archery ranges come down here. I was curious about this because it's the one thing that might... Oh, sorry. It's the one thing that might actually disrupt their walling plan, apart from, you know, any degree of force being levied against palisade walls, but, you know, we don't worry too much about those. These archery ranges are going down, which does prompt Joules to get a castle up behind here. She is on 40 C7, and we're starting to see castles come up here defensively. It's a little bit worrying, right, for them, because they've been on the offense and now they have to retreat. They probably have... They've taken up Noelle to a degree, but she's spooling up now again, and these raiding parties, they can just come in, they can smoke a lot of villagers, and I mean, castles are nice, but they only protect one area at a time, and so far there's been no real attempt at walling from Jacqueline and Joules. Knights are coming in here. I think in these masses though, Kipchaks can hit and run, and they can do it pretty effectively. Throwing axemen are coming in from Jacqueline, so yeah, we just need a longbowman. Okay, and we've seen all of the unique units. And Ofelia is an Imperial Age. Okay, this is where the situation gets really bad, because the one advantage they had right now was that Kipchaks, they're pretty good at piercing armor because of their multiple arrows, but they're not fantastic. And their base damage is not great either, especially against less armored units. So, with chemistry coming in, and with potentially elite Kipchak at some point, oh my god. Ofelia, this is beautiful. She's made a little keep. I love it. But yeah, I think Ofelia, she went 5 TCs and you know what? She owned it. Noelle spotted this castle attempt. I don't have ballistics yet. So these archers are not going to be able to do too much. Warriors do start with equal amounts of pierce armor as knights. So only one upgrade, mind you, so they're not as bad as they could be. But there's still a lot of villagers lost for this, and chemistry is in. And Jacqueline, I think, was a little bit slow to react here. There might be some communication issues there. And that can be a killer in these games. Oh my god, are you... Okay. I'm getting the feeling that Ofelia is the kind of lady who likes to pick a unit and just go for it. And I think these are gonna be Steplands or stables, if I had to guess. Well, you know, I gotta admit, Longbowmen, pretty good idea against Cavalry Archers. That extra range does help. Cavalry Archers are a little bit bigger than other units, so the low accuracy of Longbowmen isn't as big a deal. That is totally whole. Okay. I didn't expect that, but again, we don't have ballistics from Joules yet. They've been hard pressured for a while now. And I mean, they're 150 versus 213 vills, and that's just... I mean, she's still booming here, Noelle. But she's gonna have to make a defensive castle. This might be the counter push that we need. If they can knock Noelle out of the game, they might be able to hold off Ofelia. I mean, this is a big ridge to try to hold alone with palisade walls. With palisade walls and scattered castles, half of which I haven't gone up yet. And, oh, this is gonna be a massacre. I mean, this is vengeance, right? This is... Oh, throwing axemen, no particularly good against boyars. But the knights should be enough to stop this. The throwing axemen can serve as bait for now. They can kill off the villagers and then just mop up the boyars when they're done and make sure that, yeah. I assume these were quick walled up, but it was not enough. And much as I said, castles can't protect everything, and we might see that being levied against Noelle rather than for her team. You know, I was a little bit unsure about engaging here, but the boyars have to go in, and they're just gonna get swallowed up here. Oh, we're seeing a retreat. Noticing the trade is up, although it's only like 3-4 carts, and they don't have caravan yet, so it's not a gold mine exactly. But an offensive castle, and the ridge is back in the control of Joules. Jacqueline has secured her home front. Those Franks cheaper castles could be so useful. We're getting rid of stables now. We're getting that mass up. And this combination from the Britons is so useful against what Ofelia is building right now, which is, well, right now it's trade cards. But she is pulling out the Hussars. They're quite strong for humans. The only bonus they have, apart from being fully upgraded, is speed, but that should be quite useful against Britons. Jacqueline has to come back here, and that's a lot of Hussars. Hera would be proud. I don't think this is enough. I think you quite simply don't have enough troops here. This is such a flood of Hussars. No, it's up to the Imperial Age. That's remarkable given the start she had. Joules is making her way up, but this is so many Hussars. A lone battering ram is gonna try to take down this castle. I don't think it will be successful, and oh my god. This is a disaster. There's no tributary out to kill this castle yet, but she might be able to do it with Hussars. Probably wish it was Burmese right about now. Yeah, these longbowmen are being sent forward to their death. Trebuchet is out. The battering ram is right there. She could actually use that to kill the Trebuchet, or at least start the process. 5 longmen are left in this castle, and I don't think they're gonna have a very good time because the castle isn't gonna stay up for particularly much longer. I love it too, because I'm pretty sure... Let's look at Ofelia. Yeah, look at these resources. She could easily go Paladin, but she's just decided, you know what? Hussars. And I feel like that's a very Hera move. And there the longmen go. They got a little bit of a choke point, but I have a vague suspicion it might not be enough, especially with the castle now going down. The control of the ridge falls back into Ofelia Noelle's hands. And I mean, with this number of Hussars against this total lack of walling, I think there's going to be a lot of villagers dead. Jacqueline's putting up a 3rd town center, and I feel like that might not be for or 4th town center, excuse me. I feel like that might not be for eco, I think that might be for refuge. But if there's one thing I think Ophelia's demonstrated is that she doesn't care for the existence of town centers. She is happy to demolish them with whatever units she has on hand. And certainly, Hussars, they're gonna go fast. There's another castle coming up here from Joules. Frankish castles are cheaper, and these ones should do an okay job at protecting some farm space, but I mean, they're Humanosaurus, they can just leave, they can go somewhere else. Okay, I think Caravan is in now, which makes me a lot happier with that situation. But yeah, at the end of the day, these cost 80 food. I mean, Ophelia's got a lot of eco to back it up. I don't think she's too worried about losing them. And that's an optimistic castle from Joules. I mean, it would be great if it was there, but I have my doubts. Yeah, I mean, these knights are strong against light cav, but they're just too many. You'd want halberdiers, but there's too many hussars, and they can just run away. We're seeing fight parting, we're seeing Cavalier coming in from Jacqueline, but she's taking a fight now, and I think that might actually work out for her. She's in Castle Fire, she can take that. But she has a lot of hussars to plow through to actually save her ally here. Oh my god, Joules has murder holes. I totally missed that. She also has masonry, actually. And is getting architecture. She's getting a lot. I capped ram. I'm sorry, that's optimistic. I don't want to be mean, but that's very optimistic. Noelle's contributing a handful of boyars, some trebuchets. I think she's just settling. She's getting siege ram. She's just settling on being siege right now, and honestly, that's pretty fair. Gives Ophelia time to just spread these hussars wherever she wants. Frankish Cavaliers. Ori. She's just spreading these hussars everywhere they can go, just being annoying, taxing Joules and Jacqueline's APM as much as possible, and letting the trebuchets do the rest. Yeah, I mean, the numbers really tell it all, right? Well, Cat has like less than half. Oh no. I mean, this, if the numbers didn't tell it all, this is one of those images you don't want to see in a game. Oh dear. Yeah, this is... I don't want to say this is what happens when you let Ophelia boom on 5 TCs, because they definitely didn't let her. She took every inch by, you know, sacrificing Noelle as much as she could, but she got there on her own merits, so no shade there. But the end result is still an Ofelia on 5 TCs and just producing a disgusting number of hussars. I mean, step husbandry, I assume it's gotta be in, right? Let's, well, she's pop-capped right now, so, you know what, we'll keep this screen open and we'll see once she, like, rams another bunch of hussars into our castle. She seems quite fond of that. And the Master Murder Host play is definitely helping out there. Boyar here on the front line, very brave from the Slav. I mean, they're basically, you gotta say it, Noelle's basically playing the Slav civilization from the Cuban campaign. She's just there to get slaughtered and then show up with a handful of units. And you know what? That worked! Because guess what? In the Cuban campaign, they defeated the Mongols and definitely saved their homeland, and Kotjan Khan never dies. But here come the siege rams, they're cheaper. There's Cavalier in here from Jacqueline. They're probably not going to be paladins anytime soon, but they are fully upgraded. But Joules calls it GG, she taps out. We have a Jacqueline left now, but if I had to guess, she's probably gonna call it soon. Unless she's feeling particularly brave. I mean, it was a great game though. I actually really thought that, like, the way Joules and Jacqueline managed to smash Noelle early was really impressive. Really just put every pound of pressure on her, and I think they assumed that Ofelia would actually try to help her teammate, but you know what? I mean, she kinda did. She did send some resources, but, like, by and large, she was happy to just go boom, and that's probably something that really only Cubans can do in that position, unless you fast castle. And even then, I don't think you're gonna have quite that strong eco. Oh my god. If you have kids, don't let them watch these videos, okay? This is disgusting. But I love it. But yeah, really seeing people use the civ powers to their strengths, I think. Only thing really missing was I didn't see any Slavic infantry, which is surprising to me. But otherwise, pretty much what we want out of a game. So thank you very much, Joules and Jacqueline, for participating. But for now, it does seem like Ofelia Noelle's gonna get their first victory, and we'll see them in round 2. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.